Hey everyone, ready to crack the code for business English? It's time to level up your English proficiency skills as we help you get ready to win. Welcome to Hip English. My name is Angela and it's another episode here at Hip English. This is brought to you by Hawkins International Partners, and our goal here for the video series is to help you get ready to win and conquer your TOEIC and TOEFL tests. So in the next few videos, we will be doing a series about the different parts of the TOEIC test. There are usually 4 communication skills that are tested in the TOEIC. There's the listening, reading, speaking, and writing. Today, we will focus on the different parts of the TOEIC listening and reading test. For this one, we will just give you an overview and talk about the benefits and the value of the TOEIC listening and reading test. Let's go. What does TOEIC stand for? The letters TOEIC is actually just an acronym. It stands for the Test of English for International Communication, and it's a business English test. It usually talks about how well you're able to understand and use English in a typical workplace scenario. TOEIC measures 4 skills. It measures your listening, reading, speaking, and writing. The TOEIC test is mainly used to measure how well you're able to understand and process English. You can use the scores to complete requirements for your university and employment applications. Test score results are usually used for assessment, for placement, and for promoting people. Your TOEIC score has an equivalent proficiency or grade level. As professionals, you are expected to have a general professional or advanced working proficiency level. So once you have your TOEIC score, go back to this video and check how well you did. While it's good that there's no pass or fail in a TOEIC exam, you still have to set goals. Now, let's talk about the CEFR, or the Common European Framework of Reference. Whatever language you're trying to learn, if it's a good quality international assessment, it always has to have a CEFR score. Think of it as an international grade. With CEFR, you can also use your TOEIC score as a predictive score for other tests as well. So, for example, if your TOEIC score is at 945, then your score is the approximate equivalent of a TOEFL IBT or internet-based test 95 score, or an IELTS score of level 7. The CEFR B2 level is also considered as a minimum standard, meaning companies and universities would typically prefer students or employees who perform at a B2 level. So the TOEIC listening and reading tests 2 out of the 4 main skills that are tested in the Test of English for International Communication. We will be discussing in depth the different parts of the TOEIC listening and reading. We'll just give you an overview on how to best approach TOEIC. The listening and reading tests is a proctored paper and pencil test. On the day of your test, you, together with other test takers, will be received at a test center and directed to your pre-assigned seat. They will not allow electronic or assistive learning devices. You also have to undergo a body scan to make sure that there are no other electronic devices. The test fee covers all the necessary materials you will need for the TOEIC. The test administrators and proctors will be the ones to distribute and collect all your TOEIC materials. TOEIC listening and reading is good for 2 hours. 45 minutes for the listening test, and then for the reading part, 75 minutes. So both listening and reading have 100 items. Both listening and reading are in multiple choice form. First part of the test, you will be given the listening skills test. This is usually given through an automated audio recording. Everything will be played once but there will be no skipping forward or playing back, so you really need to pay attention. Breaks in between sections are not allowed. Okay, so the TOEIC listening section is divided into 4 parts. The first part will focus on photographs. You will hear 4 statements about a picture. All of this, again, will be spoken only one time. When you hear the statements, you must select the one statement that best describes what you see on the picture. The second part is on question and response. You will hear a question or statement, and then 3 responses will be spoken. Select the best response that matches the question or the statement. For part 3, it will be on conversations. You will hear some conversations between 2 people, and you will be asked to answer 3 questions about what the speakers say in each conversation. Part 4 is on talks. You will listen to some talks given by a single speaker. This is usually in the form of an announcement or an advertisement. You will be asked to answer 3 questions about what the speaker says in each talk. While you're listening to the audio recording, just skim through the questions so you can kind of anticipate what are the different details that they will need to ask or need from you after asking some questions. All right, so the recording for the listening test is 45 minutes. Once the recording has ended, you can start working on your reading. This time, all the questions will be printed on your booklet. The reading test is divided into 3 sections. The first part is on incomplete sentences, which is simply fill in the blank. You have to select the word that will complete the sentence. The second part is on text completion. It is still fill in the blanks, but it has longer statements and longer paragraphs. The third and fourth part are called single passages and multiple passages. Each reading material may have 3 to 5 paragraphs and may contain pictures, graphs, and tables, followed by 3 to 5 questions. The reading test is good for 75 minutes, so you can work at your own pace. However, you really need to pay attention to how much time you have left. When you're done, test administrators and proctors will check the details that you have written on your paper. For the online test, however, please make sure you download and go through the orientation so you don't get lost. Don't forget to check out our next video for in-depth information regarding different parts of the test. You will also get there some examples so you are better prepared on how to tackle the listening and reading test. So after taking your TOEIC listening and reading test, if you're taking it online, your scores will be shown to you on your screen. If you're taking the paper-based test, it may take a few hours up to a few more weeks before you get your TOEIC scores. Your TOEIC score certificate will look a little bit like this. You will have a breakdown of your listening and reading scores. Then on the upper right-hand corner, you will get to see your total score. This is the score which will help you understand and measure your English proficiency level. Your TOEIC score results are valid for the next 2 years. If you need to retake your TOEIC listening and reading test, take the test again in the next 28 days. Make sure that whatever information you put in the answer sheet or enter into your data is correct. Whatever details you write will be reflected on your TOEIC score result. In conclusion, TOEIC is not just a regular English test. It is an international certification that will help you identify how well you're able to perform against global or international standards. Having certificates such as the TOEIC certification or your TOEFL certification are very, very important. Whether it's soft skills or hard skills, computer skills or communication skills, this is the only way for you to get certified and to get an unbiased take on how well you will be able to perform in a global environment. With certifications like TOEIC, international companies and organizations know that you are more than credible and reliable in terms of business communication. So now that we have learned a lot about TOEIC, it's time to move on to the next part of the series. the overview of the listening section, which will be featured in our next video. Thank you once again for joining us today in this TOEIC video. Once again, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notifications bell so that you're always updated and you're always ready to win. See you in the next video.